Welcome to the Homeschool Paradigm Podcast. I'm Angela, and I am here again with Sarah.
Hi.
Rachel's still not with us. I don't know what she was doing last time, but today
She's being flaky.
she was somewhere with Tarun last time, but this time she's reading the last few pages of the first draft of her latest book that
Like she's
Sarah
stressing about it.
Yeah, Sarah gets a copy of it before I get a copy of it, even though I'm her editor. I can't
It
figure
goes
that
her
out.
husband, her sister, and then you.
And then me, I'm just her mother. I'm just her editor. Who am I? So we're going to talk without her today. We are going to talk about, I'm not sure what to call it exactly. Not shaming your kids. Could you be shaming your kids accidentally? Okay, so I tried really hard not to shame you guys when you're growing up. Now, no. No, I don't. I mean, it wasn't like I tried to try hard because it was such a struggle. But when I was a kid, my mom would say, like, if I did something, broke something, or, spilled something or whatever, she would just say, "What'd you do that for?" And I honestly, I didn't feel shame inside myself from it because that's just not how I am. I was just always like, I mean, I didn't do it on purpose. Even when I was little, I remember thinking that. Why are you asking me that? But
What a stupid question.
but I mean, I think, I not everyone would react that way, right? Like a lot of a lot of people. And that's not even bad. It wasn't like you're so stupid. She would just say, "What'd you do that for?"
Yeah.
I had some kind of automatic reaction. I'm not mad at her. I was never mad at her for it. But I remember thinking that could really make somebody feel bad. I'm never going to say anything like that to my kids. I'm probably even, did I say that to you growing up? Like my mom said that and I said I would never say that.
I mean, I noticed that grandma said things like that anyway, so I I figured that you grew up like that.
Hopefully it never made you
Um,
feel bad.
but I always heard you complain about what she said to you sometimes. So I didn't think that you were going to do that to us.
Oh, okay. All right. So
I
I
don't think it
did,
really came up.
I think, okay, yeah. So, but on occasion I might have said that was said. I'm never going to say that. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm never going to do that. And I think I didn't. So Sarah is a life coach and we were talking for a few minutes before and she's like, I mean, we can't control what other people think and how they feel, but with our kids, I
But
don't know.
like part of the one of the best ways to do that is probably not saying things that sound shameful to your kids though, because if you're saying that at home, they're not going to be confident and go out to the world and be like, "Well, I don't care what anybody else thinks." You're kind of like training them to be like, "Oh, am I going to look stupid? That's going to look
Right.
stupid."
Somebody's going to say
And
I'm
obviously, if
stupid.
they're having those thoughts about themselves, they're going to kind of show up in like a smaller like hidden type of way.
Hmm. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that was one thing I don't.
And
I mean,
that can
I
be
liked,
like a danger,
yeah,
in a lot of senses.
yeah, emotionally, but other ways too. Yeah, I want to say I never cared what people think. I think I probably care more now what people think than I ever used to, but that might be because I'm making a podcast and trying to put things out for the world. Um, but yeah, I hope so. Do you feel like you grew up not caring what people think or able to, that feeling was encouraged to not care what other people think?
um,
I mean,
I think
homeschooling
at
in general,
times
like we
I
didn't,
remember obviously like you weren't perfect at it. And
right?
I remember during math because it was like
Another math
rare.
story.
It was sorry.
That's
It
okay.
was like a rare, I hated math already. And so it was the only thing where I was like, I feel like an idiot, in this
Mhm.
subject. And I really didn't want to feel like an idiot. But in that subject, I remember feeling kind of, I always felt behind, but I never felt stupid in the moment when you were teaching me.
Mhm.
I feel like I had some trouble learning sometimes.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like I always had to have things explained to me a lot of times, or I had trouble listening or whatever.
Whatever. I
And
think it was some of the anxiety you had just kind of getting in your way.
yeah. And so during high school, I remember feeling really stupid whenever it came to math. I would sit down and I would wonder if I was not as smart
Mm.
as I should be or other people or whatever. And then I remember like you teaching me, and I would ask questions. Like, I feel like I would probably ask the same question over and over and over again because it just wasn't
Probably.
my thing.
Yeah.
And
Sam did that too.
you, like, I never remember feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't ask her this again. She's going to think I'm an idiot. Because I think sometimes,
Hmm.
and without meaning to, again, a lot of parents are like, either say or think something even like, oh my gosh, I've literally told you this like hundreds of times. And like maybe it's true, you know?
Right.
But I think there's a difference, obviously, between saying that and just explaining it. Like, I remember you had a million different ways to explain something. And even if you
Hmm.
didn't, you would say the same thing over and over again until I understood it. And I never felt like you thought that was stupid.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, that was my that was my aim. I remember explaining things over and over, and I remember feeling very patient about it, and then I remember at times feeling very not patient about it, but still explaining it patiently. And I'm sure sometimes I got really frustrated and it was visible. I don't know.
I was going to ask you a question.
Okay.
I was like thinking, like, did you ever think that we were stupid because we didn't understand math? Like,
No,
I don't
no.
remember feeling like that.
No, I never thought anybody was stupid. I mean, the only thing I wondered is like, why have they forgotten that maybe? Or what can I do? How
Yeah.
can I explain it differently? But no, I never thought anybody was stupid. I mean, I knew none of you were stupid.
So, probably the parents' thoughts matter too.
Yeah,
What
I
they
think
think about their
so.
kids is
Hmm.
definitely a big factor in what they say to their kids and how they show up.
Oh, for sure. And I think probably what they say to other people about their kids too. Like if I thought somebody was stupid or thought somebody was lazy or thought you were trying to get on my nerves, like if I went out and told my friends, "Oh my goodness, Sarah is trying to break me down. She just won't remember her math or whatever."
Yeah,
Like
like how would you feel when you were at home with me?
right. That would make me feel, I think that would just make me show up with you in ways that would seem that way, even if that wasn't the words I was saying to you. If I was saying it about you to other
Yeah.
people or even
When you were
thinking it.
saying you were saying to me before this that a lot of people say that they're a big thing is that they feel like their kids are lazy. They
Hmm.
think their kids are lazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me
And
sad.
like what is the upside to that?
There isn't. And generally kids aren't lazy. There's some reason they're doing whatever they're doing. We just haven't
Like
figured it out
honestly, I
yet.
think if you could have described me lazy as a teenager, and it could have looked like that because I was like probably tired a lot. I was really anxious as a teenager and I like didn't sleep very much.
Yeah.
And so most of the time when I didn't want to do school, it was on the days where I had had like a panic attack the night before, didn't want
Hmm.
to get up and didn't want to move.
Yeah. And it could look like that. I mean, I don't want to say, oh, like, what do these parents think? I don't know what parents think, just what they say, right? So I guess I could have thought that was lazy. I could have expected something from you that you couldn't do. And when you couldn't do it, I could have thought it was lazy or stupid or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the thing is. Do you think if we had expectations, more realistic expectations or I just want to say like human expectations, seriously. I feel like I could say, oh, I can't believe Sarah can't do any work today if you were up till 3 o'clock in the morning having a panic attack the night before. But would I be able to really work if I was having a panic attack till 3 o'clock in the morning the night before? Like would I
Yeah.
expect that of myself? I mean, like, okay, I was with you until 3 o'clock, but I wasn't the actual one panicking. It wasn't my brain doing that. I was just
Yeah.
frustrated or mad or
Yeah.
tired or whatever, but I
Well, and
wasn't
that's
the,
true, especially if you're both tired. That even needs to be like you need to manage expectations more if you're both sleep deprived or
hmm. Right.
anything else.
Right.
It's not that you didn't have expectations. I think it's that you know your kids.
Yeah.
Like you knew me, you knew I was going to probably ask the same thing like six times in a row. And I think that's a big part in why you weren't upset or like exasperated at the fact that I couldn't remember because you were just like, if you just expect something, it's not like you're going to like, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like you're not going
Yeah.
to get super exasperated or surprised at it if you're expecting
Yeah. And maybe
that. So
we
I think
should,
I would just expect, your kids to be your kids and
right. Right, right. Just to be who they are every single day. And that's not like I think that's different than like expectations like I have expectations for my family or whatever. That's
And
different than like
yeah,
she's been asking every day for a month how to do that again. I expect she might do it again. Ask it
I
again.
think it's funny because like these people homeschool their kids. Like you know your kids really, really well when you
Right?
homeschool because they're with you all the
Mhm.
time. And to I think when they expect that they're just gonna want to do everything, that's probably when you get into trouble.
Or be able, yeah, like,
It's like they're
that
gonna
all
be
sounds like
they're
fun.
just little people who also don't want to do what they have to do.
Yeah. That's why we have very fun ways of helping people with that, don't we? So could you be shaming your kids accidentally? Like, I'm not saying that parents who are like, oh, my lazy kid, I can't stand. I'm not saying they're trying to shame their kids because honestly, if you're shaming, I mean, I think most people know that if you're like trying to shame someone, that's going to make any situation worse.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, it might be hard to catch, but I would say
right.
like the things you say, look at how your kids react, and then
Yeah.
if you feel like they're reacting poorly or shutting down, I would just be like, oh, what did I just say? Or think
Yeah.
about like, if I said that to myself, like if somebody said that to me, how would I react?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure I have said
And that might give you a clue into if you're doing that.
whether it's actually coming out that way. Right. Like I've probably asked myself, what did I do that for? After being asked,
Well, yeah, we
all
do it
my
to
life.
ourselves all the time. And like, if you think about how that makes you feel, I think it's because there are probably people that also shame themselves or feel some amount of shame.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Like, it's
that's
harder
probably
to
true.
recognize this if it's just your habit to do with yourself, too.
hmm And then
But if they can just start
you
noticing it,
get through it, right? You do it to yourself, but you're still whatever. But I think it's funny sometimes when I think about what we expect from our kids. Like we literally expect them to be perfect all the time,
it's a
do
lot
everything they're
when all we
told,
want to do is
never
sit on the
not want to
couch and
do
look at our phones.
right.
Like, really?
Yeah. Is that the kind of expectation we should have? Total and perfect obedience. I mean, sure, that would be
And I'm all
nice.
for like having higher expectations for yourself and your kids, but
Oh,
like,
me
it's
too. Exactly. And that's why I was saying it's
I
not
would just
what I'm not.
expect to have that, to
Yeah.
not have that, you
Like
know?
I'm not talking about not having expectations for your
Yeah.
kids to be obedient or to be good people or to
Mm-hmm.
understand things, but like also they're human.
But
They
also,
really
shame doesn't help you be a
shame
better human. So,
shame doesn't help you be.
like, what
You're
does
not
it
gonna.
do? It makes you hide. It makes you want to stay away from whoever's talking like that to you. And so then, you know,
Yeah, probably
you're
makes you want to like lie, which
pretty
is the
soon they
same
don't
thing
want
as
to do
hiding.
anything. Like, they don't want to do math anymore, you know?
Right. And then it just gets worse. Like your whole entire relationship can get worse. Yeah. So paying attention to your kids'
I would pay
reactions when you
attention
say,
when you say those things to yourself too and them.
yeah, it's probably true. We could probably practice better on ourselves as
And then just
parents.
decide, like, is that something I really want in my relationship or my homeschool?
Yeah. Picture someone like your spouse saying whatever to you. Like, I don't know. I'm not in other people's houses, so I don't know what kinds of things they say that it could be accidentally shaming and then they don't realize it.
Well, I coach people and I know what they say to themselves, and sometimes they're kids.
Oh yeah. You got any examples you can tell me? Will that break client confidentiality?
No, the thing is, they don't usually tell me like specific things that they
Word for
said
word.
to their
Oh,
kids. It's usually just, I mean, everybody doesn't talk the nicest to themselves sometimes.
yeah.
It's usually things like that. And
Yeah.
then it'll come out at their kids a lot of the time. And then they say, like, oh, and I've been treating my kids like crap.
Oh, I see. So advice for parents that could be saying things to their kids that might be making their kids feel like hiding or shameful or just bad about themselves. Like
Well, first
shame,
thing is don't beat yourself up over it
right? Don't
because then
shame
it's more
yourself
shame.
for it. Yeah.
Just notice when they have those thoughts and how it makes them feel.
And you can just notice your kids too. Like if you notice them looking like they feel like shut down or whatever, just look back at the interaction. What was the
And you can always
interaction that
be
you
like,
had?
actually, that's not what I mean.
Yeah. I'm
Because I don't
sorry.
think that people actually feel like their kids are stupid most of the time. Or homeschooling families that
Right.
like, want to be doing this and they believe their kids are smart.
Exactly. And not
Uh,
lazy and not trying to get on their nerves.
if you don't believe your kid is smart, maybe just throw that out. That might just be kind of a silly thought you're having.
That's a lie. Because everybody is smart. There's definitely smart in everyone.
Right. So yeah, I just think noticing it to start with
Whatever it is, just try and pay attention because
like half the battle.
if you're wondering what to do, then what do I do afterward? Well, honestly, your very smart brain will tell you what to do afterward when
Just
you
decide
notice
what you
something.
want.
Hmm. Yeah. When you're noticing, as you notice and notice and notice, and that's your entire
You're like,
plan.
oh, do I actually want to feel that way? Do I want my kid to feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you'll make whatever changes you need to. But expect him to ask about math again tomorrow. Seriously, because of all your asking, I spent time thinking of creative ways to explain it. Well, thank you, Sarah. So everybody notice your thoughts, notice what you think about yourself, your kids, notice how they react. Thanks for listening.